Good morning, all. It is currently Saturday, and so I've got a pretty chill day today. I've started editing last week's vlog, waiting for things to do their thing, and so I am currently reading Madly Deeply, and which are Alan Rickman's diaries. And so I'm currently I just started 1994. I'm on page 35. And so this is kind of one that it's like gonna be like a pick up, put down kind of situation because of the way that it's set up as diary entries rather than like chapters. And so I'm able to do this at a slower, gentler rate if I so choose. But I'm gonna sit here and read this a little bit. And so I've got some time before I gotta go to book club this evening. And so we're gonna chill like always. I ended up finding this morning in like the middle of the book, like with a lot of the memoirs that I've looked at, because Tom Felton said the same thing. It's got some artwork, and because I know like when I had initially got, if you look in the front and the backs, it has like artwork and the writing from his original entries, but then there's even more on the inside. Like, oops, I'm losing my bookmark. I'll put it in later. Got my page number. 38. So look at this artwork that he did along with his writings. Like, that's just gorgeous. Like, he did these little artworks with his entries. It's so pretty. And it's very interesting, like, seeing his handwriting. It's like, it's very quick. But I'm like, the fact that he did artwork along with the writing is just absolutely incredible. Here's the back cover. But like, all of this is just like his own work, and it's really, really cute. And it was even set up so that way, like, each page is a day. So like, this entire page is June 30th. Now, there's no years on it. We got some in January and in August and one of the New Year's. Now, mind you, the book was from 1993 to 2015. So yeah, it officially starts June of 1993, and it ends December 12th of 2015, because he died a month later in January of 2016. And so it leads up to his death, and then there's even like afterwards, or in the appendix, he did, because he didn't start, like, he did a little bit of journaling, like on and off, but it says Alan Rickman kept occasional diaries from around 1974 to 1982, but he then started regularly in 1993 forward, so that's the main chunk of the book is 93 to 2015. But then down here at the end in the appendix, some of the earlier writings in like the 70s to the 80s. And then what's really cool is that the forward is a really cute, it's a really good forward from Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson starred with him in a number of movies, including the Harry Potter series, but they also did Madly Deeply and I think one other together. But then there's also an afterwards from his soulmate, Rima Horton. Because what I actually really love about Alan's relationship is that Alan met Rima as teenagers and they considered themselves soulmates, but they didn't actually marry until 2012. So they spent most of their relationship unmarried, and I find that incredibly interesting and like honestly really cute, the fact that they considered themselves soulmates but didn't actually marry until 2012 when they met as teenagers. And so just the fact that they spent that time together is really, really sweet. And so I just wanted to show you guys all that because I actually want to I think I'm going to take a small break because I feel like this is one that would be really nice to do like just in small chunks, like while I do other things. It's at 38. Thank you for reminding me so that I can put my bookmark back in. I made it to the end of January of 1994. Like I think I only made it like 4 pages, but I realized, because I feel like this one I kind of want to do in just little chunks because of the way that it's set up. And like honestly, it kind of makes me want to journal like this because I've been like meaning to journal, but like it's like hit or miss. It's more miss than hit with me. But I feel like if I do just like little blips from day to day, it may be better. And I've thought about doing it like digitally, paper and pencil. I'll figure out how I want to do it. But in all honesty, because like I said, I've been in a Disney Dreamlight Valley kick, and the next DLC comes out on Wednesday. It comes out on Wednesday. It's called Storybook Veil, and I'm super excited about it. Of course, I'm gonna get it, but it's like it makes me want to get through as many things as I can before then, because I have some friends that are still like lacking in levels. I'm still working on my Rift in Time friendships. So Jafar, Rapunzel, Gaston, and Eve are all still in the works. I keep forgetting about Jafar. Did I call him Jafar? I don't remember. I realize when I go back and edit how I'll missay things and not even notice until I'm editing. So editing Megan will put in little, it's like, oops, this is what I meant. Like I'll just be talking to you guys and not even realize that I was saying something wrong. But so I kind of want to work on I have all of the Rift in Time friendships, as well as I think the only Dreamlight Valley ones that are now lacking that I need to work on are Mike and Sully and Timon and Pumbaa. I think are the only original Valley members because they're the newest members that I still haven't gotten up to level 10. So I think I'm going to work on friendships, things, and Oswald. Oswald is a Rift in Time character. Haha. There's 5 of them from Rift in Time, and all of them are still not level 10. Gaston is the closest at level 9, just because I have him as a minor, and so I've been needing to do a lot of mining for just quest lines in general, or also the current Star Path has wanted some mining done. The current Star Path is really cute. It's a rock music Star Path. It's really cute. I've been getting a lot of the outfits because they're cute. I haven't gone for a lot of the set pieces. I've been focusing on all the clothes. Depending on how far I get, I may consider going back and getting them if I have time. I think I still have like a week and a half to do Star Path, because I've been focusing on friendships and Star Path because I want the friendship so that way I have less to do come Wednesday when Storybook Veil comes out. And the Star Path is just because it's like I feel like I never give those as much effort, because it's like a lot of the times I really like the stuff, but it's like I play so little that I don't like actually participate as much. So I think that is what we're going to do. And I think I have an audiobook. Yeah, I think I have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on loan right now, because I forgot that I had Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on my TBR. But we'll see. But anyway, let's play some Dreamlight Valley, shall we? Alrighty guys, so I am done and ready for book club. Did my makeup, cute little overall outfit, and my Taylor Swift boots. That's their official title now, but I'm excited to finally use them in day-to-day life. So I'm gonna sit and edit for a little bit more, and then we're gonna get going. Hi friends, we are officially off to book club. This month we read The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young, and so this is the book we will be discussing tonight. I am super excited because I absolutely loved this book. Also, the place we're meeting up is supposed to look really pretty based off of what I found online, and so I'm super excited. It looks like we're gonna have an outside time, and it's like I said, the weather is getting, actually I realized I'm saying this like I just said it the other day, because I did, but at the same time it's in last week's vlog. Anyway, the weather is getting super nice out right now because of the fact that we're officially hitting the cooler season. And so we're supposed to have like mid to upper 70s tonight, I think. So I'm super excited for that. So let's go. Absolutely.
Oh my god!
Woo!
Before I came here, I've been in there for...
Oh, wow.
Very cute.
Good day all. Today's Sunday. Book club went fabulously yesterday. It was very exciting. Really pretty place too. I was very excited with that. This morning I played some Dreamlight Valley. I'm currently working on uploading my vlog from last week, and I'm actually like, this is the first time that I've ever sat and rewatched it, because all of a sudden I noticed that like all of my music is like a few seconds off. It was really weird. So I'm gonna do a whole rewatch to make sure that everything's in line before I officially upload it, because everything else is done. I just want to make sure that I had to do a force quit and wanted to make sure that I didn't like miss a cut or something. So then after that I'm gonna do my last coaster, and then I think while I'm doing that I'm gonna listen to Harry Potter, just kind of keep it like nice and chill. And I started reading on my Kindle and have the audiobook for Babel by R.F. Kuang. I know it's really hard to see on camera, but I'm reading this. I started this last night, just because I feel like in an academia vibe. So between Harry Potter and Babel, I think I'm set. So let's watch this video, let's do some crafting, and let's go. Alright, so this is the final coaster of the collection. I can't wait to see how it turns out after the gems. Oh, it's gonna look so pretty. Alrighty, friends. I have spent the last few hours, I did some Dream Light Valley, got some more of my friends higher up in their levels. I got the video to upload, my coasters are curing, and so I just made a trip to Joanne and got me some yarn because I want to try to crochet again. I crocheted a number of years ago, and just I like the idea of keeping my hands busy, so I got me some basic tools. I got me a hook and some yarn because I want to do like this granny square tote, something nice and simple and something that I could do in little bits. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'm gonna start it today or just wait until another time, just because of the fact that I do still want to do a little more of Dream Light Valley. We'll have to see. But it's so exciting. I've been looking into some crochet patterns, and I think it'd be fun. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it last time I did it, and I finished my diamond art crafts that I'm like, what do I want to do next? I want to crochet. So, but I found this really pretty pattern. They did it in like blues and whites and stuff, and so I particularly like the purples and the pinks. So rather than like a blue and aquamarine flower, I'm going to do it in purples and pinks. And then rather than a white border, I found this pretty black sparkle. And funny enough, they didn't have the plain black, but they had the black sparkle. But I'm like, you know what? Cool. So I'm going to have a sparkly tote. So I'm super excited. Alrighty guys, actually perfect timing. I just finished my first square. It turned out amazing. It's a little bigger. The hook I got was too big. So it's a little, but you know what? It's okay. I'm not fretting. I also just finished Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Love the Harry Potter series. And I absolutely love it. It's, of course, Chamber of Secrets is my least favorite of the series, but it was actually nice to just sit and listen to it and get through it all in like one day. That was actually really fun. I had a good old time. So I think I'm gonna turn on Babel and do another square, because like now I'm super excited. Like, look at it. I'm so excited with the way my colors turned out. And so I'm planning on making like multiples of these, and then I'm going to turn it into a tote. I'm so excited.
Good morning. Today's Tuesday. I didn't check in yesterday just because yesterday was like busy and exhausting, and it wasn't gonna happen. But I am happy to say that I did Zumba for the first time yesterday in like 6 months. Yay for me. I'm trying to get back into some physical activity, and I absolutely love Zumba. It's like my favorite. Like, I love to dance, and so, but the problem was that because it's been 6 months, because I'm the kind of person who I can do things all out quick, but not long term. So I'm kind of one of those, like, I'm a sprinter, but not a marathoner. Anyway, so let's just say halfway through, I became extremely exhausted. And then by the last, like, 3 or 4 dances, like, I could barely do it. It's been too long, but I'm very proud of myself for getting back into it. I do want to keep going at least once a week, just because of the Zumba schedule versus my schedule. It's really only good for me right now to go once a week, but once is better than nothing. If I can manage to get there twice a week in later time, great. If not, oh well. The fact that I'm going once a week is enough right now. I came home absolutely exhausted. My legs hurt so bad. And so I literally went to bed at like 8:45 last night. I was so tired. And then struggled to get to sleep, but that's a whole nother thing. But like it totally just like knocked me out. I read like a few excerpts from Madly Deeply last night, and I'm slowly getting through Babel. Okay, how do you pronounce it with the long A or the short A for Babel or Babel by R.F. Kuang? Because I've always pronounced it, and I've always heard it pronounced with the short A of Babel. Now, the narrator reading it on the audiobook is pronouncing it Babel. I understand where the long A is coming from, but at the same time, it's like I've always just naturally used the short A. So I'm curious what you guys like use for your pronunciation of the book. I don't know if we've ever heard R.F. Kuang pronounce the book title, if she uses the long A or the short A. But I'm just curious, also just because I know with different accents and the way people speak, like it could be said in different ways. I'm just curious, just because this is the first time like listening to the audiobook that I've ever heard it with the long A of Babel. I've always just naturally called it Babel, and that's what I hear other booktubers call it, so I'm curious what y'all think. But it's getting really good. It's really interesting right now just because of the fact that it's kind of like we're in like a fast forward kind of getting through it, just because of the fact that we started the book. We learned about Robin's. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm going to try to, because I haven't, it's been so long since I've read the actual synopsis of it, but from what I've gotten in the first, I think I'm 35% of the way through now, is that we learn of this Professor Lovell taking in a boy from Canton. He is Cantonese. He's from Canton. And grows up with the adult by the name of Professor Lovell, who is a etymology professor at Oxford. Our book is taking place in the 1830s, and R.F. Kuang actually does a total excerpt at the beginning about how like this is fantasy fiction. Babel doesn't actually exist, but she, based off of her readings of Oxford back from this day, as well as other readings, she did it to the best of her ability, but just to remind us that it's all fiction and not to critique her work on Oxford itself, which was much appreciated since Oxford is real. And so this Professor Lovell takes in this boy, and when he's signing papers, he comes up with his own name of Robin Swift. And so he now is known in England as Robin Smith. And so, Robin Swift. And so it's pretty much living with Professor Lovell, growing up with different languages, and then starts in Babel's program when he turns like 17 or 18. And it's him and his class through their experience at Babel. Now, what's been going on is that it's kind of like even 35% of the way through, we're now on year 3 in Babel. So it's kind of like this first little while until we get to the climax of our story is just kind of like their lives, and we're just kind of learning about it and kind of like getting into the swing of everything before we approach our main climax. kind of like there's some stuff going on in year 1. And then we'll jump forward a little bit, and here's a little bit from year 2. And then we'll jump forward a little bit, and so where I'm currently at, we're in year 3. And so I assume that we're going to get all 4 years of Robin's experience in Babel, along with our main plot line, which I have an idea of where the plot line's going. So, like, honestly, by the time that I actually open this book, I'm going into it completely blind. It's been so long since I've read the back of the book, read the synopsis. But I feel like with Dark Academia, it's very easy to go into it blind because of the fact that because you've got the academia portion of the book, it's pretty cut and dry aside from everything else. I feel like when you have like pure fantasies and other fictions, it's a little harder because of the range at which fantasy and fiction expand. But with academia, I feel like it's very easy because of that academia the academia line is very cut and dry. It's just a matter of what is the academia. In this case, Oxford. This fantasy fiction cohort of Oxford. But it's still just like a typical school year, just all about languages. I'm actually finding it very interesting, and it almost wants me to like read more classic and literary works. But I don't know if it's just because I think it's just because of the fact that I'm reading the Dark Academia and that's what they're talking about. But I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with reading like classics and older writings. Because I've got a collection of Mark Twain books. I know I can find other classics of Shakespeare or Edgar Allan Poe or other Mark Twain, because like I said, I only have 3. There are other great writers that I could certainly look into at any point. It's just I have to take the time to read the classics if I want to. But it's an option. We'll see if I have the interest in future. We'll see. So that's kind of where I'm at in regards to Babel. For Madly Deeply, I've made it to about, I'm still in 94. I think I've gotten to March. And he's going back and forth between filming locations of his current movie. I don't know if he mentioned what the movie is or just the fact that he's filming. I don't remember off the top of my head. But again, it's one of those books that I feel like I'm just gonna have to take it in like little chunks because of what it is. So I think I have it with me to read for like on like my lunch or like other small opportunities. Like I may pull it out when I get to work before I actually have to start working, just because I am on the earlier side. But what's new? I'm always on the early side to work, I feel. Anyway, but I also think that I want to open up Candy House soon. Candy House is the last physical book on my TBR for the month of November. I only have the 3 books left for November. I've got Babel, Madly Deeply, and Candy House are the last books on my TBR for November. And I honestly feel like I'm gonna pull Madly Deeply into December, only because of the type of book it is. I don't feel like I can just sit and read it like I do the other books. And honestly, Madly Deeply is making me want to journal like he did. Because like I've been needing to get back into journaling, like for my own like mental health and stuff. Like I know that it's like very beneficial and stuff, but I always struggle. It's like I'll do like a day or 2 and then like I'll leave it to the wayside and never pick it up. But it's like I kind of want to go into like how he's doing it, if that makes sense. like little excerpts from the day, and it's like, this is what happened, this is how I was feeling. To also help me work through and deal with the stuff that I've been working through all my life and am working on in therapy. And those kind of things, but use it more as like a therapy rather than just like an excerpt of what happened today. I mean, I could do that too, but just like keep it more on the lax rather than deep diving into my emotions every day and feeling like I can't some days if I have nothing to deep dive into. Then it becomes inconsistent and then I just drop it. And so I literally just ordered the little pocket notebooks off of Amazon to keep with me. I have another little notebook that I keep on me, but that's more for like junk writing, as in like to-do lists or remember to do that. Of course, I haven't picked that one up in God knows how long. But that one's more like just scritchy scratchy, remember, don't forget, quick little list kind of writing. Whereas I've tried journaling like digitally, like since I've been doing digital planning, and it's like everything has become digital in my life, that it's like I almost feel like I've gotten to the point where I have too much, like my digital devices are used for so many things that it's like, what's one more thing, and then it goes to the absolute wayside because I have so many other things that are done on this device, blah blah blah. And so I got me some little pocket-sized notebooks that I kind of want to dedicate strictly to journaling, so that way it's like, this is the only place that I can do that, this is only used for that, and kind of see how that goes, because that is something that I've been needing to do, and I haven't. So I'm hoping that this will help me do that. We'll see. And so I've realized that, like, because of the fact that I enjoy talking to you guys so much, like, on my drives, and it's just also the easiest time for me to, like, get on camera, talk to you guys, update you guys, that I had the thought the other day, actually, where it feels like, if you guys have ever seen the show, Comedian in Cars Drinking Coffee, or something to that extent, it's something Jerry Seinfeld did. Back in the day. He had a show, aside from Seinfeld, he did Comedians in the Car Drinking Coffee. And it's giving me Comedians in the Car with Coffee vibes, as well as, what was the show? Or it was a bit that, I just drew a complete, James Corden has done bits. I don't know if he does them anymore. I haven't really kept up on it, but I know he's done bits for his late show. I don't even know if he has his late show anymore. He had a late show. I don't know if he still does. But there was a bit that he did of taking the stars on like karaoke drives, where he would get it was typically a musical artist of some sort, and they would sing the artist's tracks like in the car while driving and talking and stuff. And so when I update you guys in the car, they're giving me those vibes, and honestly I love it. I absolutely love it. I certainly hope you guys don't mind the updates in the car while I drive, because I know that it's like, I've never seen anybody else do it, and so that's why it's like I actually kind of like that I do it, because typically everybody else is just like sitting and updating you guys like in front of their bookshelves, or there's some like updates from the car while sitting in a parking lot, whereas I'm typically giving you my updates on my drives to and from work. But in all honesty, like, I like that. There's something about car rides that are also just like very, of course, assuming that the traffic is on the lower side, there's something just very nice about like chit-chatting in the car while going from place to place, you know? And for me, it's very hard for me to do updates regularly from the house. And so I like it because it's something different. I'm different and I like it. Shout out to all the unicorns who are different and love it. Embrace it. Embrace your uniqueness, guys. And so, yeah. So I very much appreciate being a unicorn. I very much appreciate being different. And I love that. There's not enough. I have this thought and I can't find the right words for it. Sorry, guys. But like, be you. Be authentically you. And don't be ashamed of it. Don't be embarrassed about it. Like, you are you. The people who love you for who you are. No matter what. Okay? So, so yeah, that's my current update. And this afternoon, I have no plans for the afternoon, so I plan on reading, crocheting, Dreamlight Valley. Like, honestly, all of my hobbies are up for grabs this afternoon. All of them are up for grabs. So, we'll see what I'm in the mood for. I'm probably going to be in the mood. We're probably going to listen to a book while either Dreamlight Valleying or crocheting. It's gonna be something along those lines. Just because of the fact that I'm like deep in Babel right now. We're gonna listen with our ears and do something else with our eyes and our hands. Also because of the fact that I don't have an audiobook for Candy House, I'm gonna have to read that one solely with my eyes. Well, I mean, I can get it on Audible, but I don't want to get it on Audible if I haven't. I'm not one of those people who likes to have like multiple copies of a book. Like, if I have the paperback, if I have one version of a book, I don't want to actively own a different version, if that makes sense. Because, like, I don't want to go and spend my money on a physical copy, a Kindle version, and an audio copy. Like, I find, personally, I find that pointless. Whenever I find an audiobook for my physical book or my Kindle book, I'm either finding it on Libby, I'm either finding it through my library, or through YouTube, because YouTube will have some audiobooks running around. I'll always check. I've got Libby and another library app. So, yeah. I always see if I can get an audiobook for free if I can't get because like for Candy House, the only place that I can find an audiobook right now is for a credit in Audible. But because I have credits that I can spend, I think I've got like 2 credits. The problem is that unless it was cheap enough, because I think there's only one book that I technically have 2 copies of, and that's What Is Love by Jen Comfort, I think is her name, where I own the Kindle version, and then I also own the audio version, but that's also because both versions of the book were like extremely cheap. I think the audiobook was like $2 or $3, and so that was enough for me to spend the $2 or $3 to have them together. And honestly, the book was really cute, but I'm like, I'm not going to spend an entire $15 credit on a book that I actively own in another format, if that makes sense. Personally, it's just if I have an audiobook, I'm only going to own it in audiobook. Like when I read The Woman and The Book of Doors, I only own those books in audiobook format. I feel like both books are books that that were certainly good enough for me to own physically, but I also don't have the room to own any more books physically. Like in paperback or hardback format. So if I was to own them physically right now, it'd have to be Kindle, but like the fact that I have them on audiobook is enough right now. So, but, so yeah. So, like, if I'm ever reading a book physically and audioly, it's because I found the audiobook for free. Or the audiobook happens to be in my Audible, and it's like I realize every time I do a TBR, I forget about my Audible books. I need to get my Audible books onto my TBR list in Goodreads, because I keep forgetting about them when I do like the my TBR videos and stuff. It's like I always forget about my Audible books that I own. Like, I own From Blood to Ash. I claimed that like 2 months ago through an Audible credit, and have completely forgotten about it. But I hear it's super good and I want to read it. So just got to get to it. But anyway, believe that's all my updates for now. Thank you for joining me on this drive to work. And I will see you guys in the next... No. I'm talking to you like I'm closing out the vlog. Hello, it's only Tuesday. I'll see you guys in the next checkup. Yesterday, as you saw, I did some more crocheting, and it was so funny because my original plan was to just make a tote out of my squares, but then it was brought up to me that the bag should be lined, and I'm like, of course, true. Like, of course I knew that. But, I mean, I wasn't surprised by the fact that I'm like, oh wait. Because it occurred to me that when I had bought the needle, I was looking at what the yarn recommended and not what was required for the actual pattern. So technically, because I only have the one hook, because I only bought what I needed for the project, because I didn't want to like buy so much supplies and then like drop the hobby, you know. So my hook is technically double the size of what's required, which is making the whole pattern bigger, and there are, I guess, holes in the pattern now because of it. It's like after I get my first round, like by round 2, it's like I have these holes where all of my other stitches are gonna go, but they're like holes, okay? It's not just like, oh, here's a little space. No, it's like a hole. But I mean, like, once everything's like it. As I do it, I feel like it's turning out horribly, but then I see the final product once I finish the square, and it's like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. But I realize that because of the fact that it's a little bigger and a little more holey because of I'm using the wrong size hook, I'm gonna turn them into a cardigan. Because I've been wanting more cardigans. Like, I absolutely love them. And it's so funny that I'm actually wearing a cardigan as we're talking about it. I absolutely love them. And so I've been wanting to get more into cardigans. And so I already own 3. And so honestly, even though it feels like a big project, especially it's also my first project in like years, because I crocheted when I was younger, but at the same time, it's like I wanted to make sure that I liked the idea of doing a granny square pattern, because it's the fact that it's like I can do it in short little bursts, and then I can just put them all together in whatever like configuration I want, in all honesty. And so I figured, you know what, if I'm making it, I'm gonna get, especially because of the fact that it's like I feel like I'm not gonna be able to line it properly to be used as a tote. And then I also thought about like doing extra squares to do like pockets on the inside. But again, like with all of its holes, is it really gonna like function the way that I want it to? And so, like, no, let me just make like double, maybe triple the squares and turn it into a cardigan. Like, I ended up making, and after I showed you my 5 squares, I did end up making a 6th. So I've got 6 squares so far. Now, in order to make a cardigan, I need 52 squares. I'm going to need 52 squares to make the cardigan. And then they showed the video I was looking at showed how to do like the cuffs. So it's similar, actually it's going to be, it's like a similar cuff to these. It's going to be like these for each arm, the bottom, and then the interior, like the lining that forms like the neck and down the front. And so, like, in all honesty, it's not a hard pattern, it's just a big pattern. And so that's also what I'm reminding myself, is because all of the patterns, all of these stitches that I need for the craft, I know and I have been doing in my, like, because in order to, I mean, for the squares, I'm using chains, double stitch, half double stitch. Is that it? And then it's like some weird, like, I know like for my second row, my middle, my darker pink, it's, you do it like in there 3 times where you got 7 loops, then bring it all through for that petal. And then for my light pink, what's interesting is that it's like I don't do like a half double stitch, but it's like I put it in and I do half of the double stitch, and then I do it 2 more times to where it's like I've got the 4 loops, and then I pull it all through. Because it's not a half double stitch, but like you, like for those of you who have crocheted, the double stitch is like you do it, there's 2 rounds of pull through. But for my light pink petal, I do half of it. I do the first pull through, and then I do another wrap through the dark pink, and so it ends up forming this cute little long petal. Now what's funny, it's funny now that I've gone through it a few times, and it's just how it's going to look, because I'm using a double thickness hook. And I mean, I could go out and buy the other hook, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't want to buy extra, but I feel like I'm gonna have to go and get the other hook, just because now that I'm in the process of crocheting, I want to make a Kindle case. And in all honesty, I don't want to make it a single color. I kind of want to do, like, you know, the skeins that have like all different colors in the skein. That's kind of what I want to do for it. And I found a really cute pattern and that I want to do for it, but I don't, because I mean, I could like switch between my colors, but it's like, do I really want to go through the whole switch process like I'm doing for my cardigan, for my current squares that I'm doing, I'm going to think about it, just because the pattern for the Kindle case only uses a single skein, and it uses that skein, so it's got all of the colors like included in it. But if I want it multicolored using like what I have, I'm gonna have to like switch in and out of the colors, which I'm gonna have to figure out how to do if I decide I want to do that using the colors that I'm using for my granny squares. But again, I don't want to become like infiltrated by a bunch of yarn. I have no room. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle having room for everything. But that was fun because I seriously needed to keep my hands busy because I was falling asleep. I picked up Candy House and I read like 5 or 6 pages, and I'm like, I could literally fall asleep right now. And so it's like I gotta keep the hands busy, so I decided to crochet, and I was listening to Babel while I was doing it. So I was listening to Babel. I'm currently 56-ish% of the way through. I'm in chapter 17. It's interesting. We kind of took a turn, which I'm happy for. It's like we were kind of in need of a turn, like a plot, not necessarily a plot twist, but a plot turn, you know, where it's like, so this is gonna have to come ahead at some point, you know, and it did. It's not 100% resolved yet, but it finally came to a head that something had to be done about it, which I was very happy about. But it's just because it's such a long book, it's taking me a little while, because of course now I'm listening to it purely audioly. But what I realized yesterday and today and this morning is I realized we're gonna have to take a pause from like the crocheting and the reading this afternoon, because today is November 20th, which means that the next DLC for Dreamlight Valley comes out today. The Storybook Veil comes out today, and I'm so excited. And so that is what I'm going to be doing tonight. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So aside from like dinner, that is what I will be doing. I'm so stinking excited, guys. So, because I realized that it's like, as much as I could listen to Babel while I play, but at the same time, it's like it's new content, and I'm going to be fully in it, so I'm going to be fully in it. And so today's reading is just going to be Babel to and from work, and then we're going to be doing Storybook Veil the entire afternoon into evening. I'm super excited. And I do plan on getting it's like called the magical one. It's the magical one, because there's 2 versions of the DLC. There's the standard edition, which just gives you the extra content. But then I think for like an extra $10 or $20, you get, of the DLC, you get extra moonstones, and then you get like 3 release things. I think there's an outfit. I don't remember if there's a companion or if it's a house. I don't know, but there's 3 items that you get in purchasing this expansion pack. And I'm super excited, just because it's new content. It's a whole DLC. It's a whole other realm. I'm super excited. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna listen to Babel, and I'll check in with you guys this afternoon / this evening when we get to playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, the Storybook Veil.
there's a secret room of books. Oh my god.
Good morning. Today's Thursday. I had such a fun time starting the Storybook Veil DLC yesterday. Guys, I can't begin to tell you. So we opened Storybook. Well, first off, they gave us a whole new wardrobe, pretty much, for the release. But then I also bought the Magical Edition, which included 2 more outfits, of course, like a female and a male version of the outfits, as well as I got a Pegasus, a companion house for him, a autumn manor, which was beautiful. I haven't actually placed it down, but like I looked at the pictures when I got it, it was gorgeous. I got 5,000 extra moonstones, and I think that was it. And so it was gorgeous. I decided to wear what we had just gotten with it. The outfit was so cute. I hope you saw that while I showed you me running around and mining. It was so cute. Oh my gosh, I looked like a little steampunk explorer. I loved it. I was like all over it, and I could not get over the bind. Okay? Like that initial place that we go to, of course, like we're led through, it's like the Library of Lore, where we meet the lore master, lore maker. I'm drawing a blank on her title now. But Merida pretty much like helped us out through the first part of the story here. I don't know if she's gonna be like Merlin in the sense where it's like she's gonna be there every time we open something up, or now that it's like I'm regularly going back and forth, if Merlin will take her place. I guess we'll find out. And so the library was gorgeous. The bind was gorgeous. I mean, did you guys see that? It was like a book lover's dream. Like, I was so stinking excited for it. Oh my god. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And even the trees had books in them. The walls had books in them. It was like the books and bookcases like blended into the scenery so stinking well. It was beautiful. Mwah. Oh my god. So I just got through the intro. I pretty much got as far as like opening up the bind. I opened up Goofy's stall. I opened up Scrooge. I opened up Remy, and I got Merida's house placed down. That's about as far as I got, because after that was pretty much the end of the intro. So now, in order for me to continue, I gotta open up more land. So it was actually a good time to stop also, because I was so into this, I lost track of time. And then all of a sudden I went to go and like collect a little more magic to open up the next, because the main valley, Eternity Isle, and Storybook Veil all have their own sense of magic and their own sense of currency. The coins are used everywhere, but in regards to like the magic, like the Dreamlight in the valley, we had the mist in Eternity Isle, and so now in the Vale we have storybook magic. So it's so stinking cute. I'm loving this DLC so far. It's so stinking cute, guys. So yeah. But I realized I was still a little short on magic. I couldn't open up the next place, and then all of a sudden I looked at the time, and it's like time to get ready for bed. I'm like, well, I guess we're stopping there for the night. But it was fun. I played for like 2 hours, so it was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. And so now I'm currently listening to Babel, and it's interesting. We're kind of like a turn of events because they're older in school, and so they're all on their. I think I lost track, but I think we're actually in our 4th year now because the whole class goes out to a foreign place for them to continue their schooling and their work. And so, but this is very interesting just because of the head that we came to yesterday, the day before-ish, that I was talking about. And so I'm excited to see where it goes. And it's a real like story. I feel like this is like a huge story plot point for Robin, and I'm super curious, and I'm super excited to learn like how it continues, how Robin grows as an individual. So I just wanted to provide you guys that update, and so I will let you guys go, and I'll probably check back in with you guys a little later, like later today. And yeah. Good morning, all. Today's Friday, end of the week. Break is just around the corner. I am so stinking excited. Last night, after I got home, I chilled. Chill is my word. I love it. I love to chill. I attempted some Dreamlight Valley. Like, I did a little bit of Dreamlight Valley. Nothing of the new update. I was catching up on some quests. But then it's like, I was just so tired. I started playing in bed, lying down, but I was just so tired. Between work and therapy, I was just done. It was one of those days. So I then decided, because I still had like an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish before I really wanted to go to bed, you know? So I decided to crochet. I did 2 more squares of my granny squares. They're coming out really cute. Part of me is concerned about the fact that I am using a bigger hook than I'm supposed to be using. But I mean, at least they're all looking rather similar, which is good. That's the point. But like once they all go together, I'm really curious how it's going to turn out. Knowing that because I'm using a bigger hook, I've got more like holes in the squares. What was funny is that I ended up having a dream last night about crocheting, and like it was a whole group of people. Like, mind you, I knew most of the people one way or another. It was very funny. But we had all decided to crochet based off of a certain like movie or something. And so it was, but then we had to get it approved by a principal. It was really weird. It was interesting, but it's like I had crocheting in my dream last night, which is quite funny. But anyway, so while I crocheted, I listened to Babel. I'm currently listening to Babel in the car. I'm 76% of the way through, guys. And holy crap. Plot twist. My God. Like, I am on the freaking edge of my seat right now, cussing at my car, at my audiobook, because of everything that's going on. I literally, like, can't begin to fathom what on earth is going on right now. Because it's like, it's like I was almost expecting, like, yes, like there was going to be like magic and fantasy incorporated with this book, but I'm like, I was not expecting all this. Like, damn. So I'm only hoping that like somehow this whole thing pulls through. Like I'm already feeling for Robin. Like Robin is going through it, man. I can't begin to tell you. But I love the way. Okay, so this is my second book that I'm reading by R.F. Kuang. The first book I read was Yellowface. Now, mind you, Yellowface was completely different from Babel. But there's a way that I don't know if it's her writing style, just the way that she tells a story, but I am entirely like raptured by her writing. I had the same thing with Yellowface. The type of book that Yellowface isn't typically my normal type of reading, okay? And I've been expanding that to be reading like books like literary fiction and the books about POCs as well as other nationalities, ethnicities. Like I've slowly like been expanding, like, but that would have been my first pickup just naturally. And so, but Yellowface had me going, and I found it very interesting. I loved the way that R.F. Kuang told the story, and so now with Babel, I'm getting a very similar feeling of just being completely entranced by her writing. And the only reason that I haven't picked up more literary fiction and like gone out of that comfort zone is because my comfort zone is fantasy and romance. So yeah, and I even want to expand like my romance reading too. So, but yeah, there's just something about the way that Babel is going that has me on the edge of my seat. I have absolutely no idea what's coming next, and I am here for all of it. The only thing is that it is a longer book, so it's taking me a little longer to get through it, but I'm still enjoying it all the same. I do want to try to finish it today because it's Friday. But at the same time, I do have less of this one. I do have more of this one to complete than I did of Demon Copperhead last week. So we will see. And we will take it as I will probably update you guys again this afternoon/evening in regards to where I am in the reading. Did I get it done? So on and so forth. Because I do think, because I want to get the book done, I am going to sit and crochet while listening to it for like the remainder of the evening. Because I also like that because the granny squares are very like cut and dry. It's like this is the way they're done. It's like it's such a movement of my hands, and it's so like concrete. And like now that I know what I'm doing, and I don't need to watch the video for the pattern every round, I'm just able to just sit and do it, and it's like I've gotten pretty quick at it, which has been like really fun for me. So yeah, I think that's how we're gonna spend our evening. So I'm gonna let you guys go so I can continue listening to Babel because it's going, man. Like everything's happening right now. So I need to find out what happens next. I will check in with you guys later. See y'all later. Alright, guys. I made it to book 5. I'm 80% of the way through. My God. I want to cry. Oh my God. I'm like, what on earth is gonna happen in this last 20% that is gonna say anything about what has happened in the last 3 chapters? I don't know what to expect. I don't know. But I was looking at the time. I could actually finish this tonight. I could finish it tonight. Because according to the audiobook, there's 4 hours and 19 minutes left, but I'm listening at 1.75 speed. So maybe 2.5 hours max. We'll see. But damn. I'm gonna stop here just because it's time to work. But I just, that was kind of perfect timing for a change of book. But yeah. A lot of emotions right now based off of where I am. Like, RF Kwong's got me like, what's gonna happen? So I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll finish this book tonight. Good evening, friends. I just finished Babel. I'll admit that last 25% did not go how I was expecting it to. I felt like a good chunk of it was just too long. And the ending for me was lackluster. Oh my God. Now I'll admit I'm one for like happy endings. And I'm not saying that it's not a happy ending. It's just more of a realistic ending. And it's just, for me, it's like just so many sacrifices were made. And I know that is what is, like, it's part of revolution. It's part of making a change. But like, I was hoping for more success than that. As sad as it is to say. So I think, personally, I'm gonna rate it 3 stars. That last 25%, like, really was not what I was expecting or hoping for. I don't really know what I was expecting or hoping for, but I feel caught off guard, and not in a good way. So we're gonna rate it a 3-star. I'm very excited to have read it, and very plot twisty, very tension building. So all of that was absolutely fantastic. There was just something about the ending that felt extremely lackluster to me. I don't know what it was. But anyway, that is the end of Babel. I'm going to sit here and play Dreamlight Valley for the rest of the night. And I will see you guys in next week's vlog. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And thank you guys again so much for joining me. And I will see you guys in the next video.